My name is Sarah. I am 13 years old. I cannot see anything. My world is dark, but my world is never quiet. I wake up before the birds. Every morning it is the same. The house breathes slowly around me. I lie still in my bed. I listen. I wait. The silence has a sound. It hums very softly, like something sleeping. I cannot see the sunrise. I never see the orange sky. I never see the light touch the trees. But I feel the morning change. The air grows a little warmer. It shifts against my skin. Something in the world turns, and I know the day has begun. I sit up slowly. My feet touch the wooden floor. The floor speaks to me. It vibrates under my toes. I feel my mother walking in the kitchen. I feel the small shutter of the refrigerator. I feel my cat, Miso, jumping from the sofa. Every footstep tells a story. Every vibration is a word. The floor is my first book of the day. I love the rain more than anything. The rain comes to me before it falls. I know this sounds strange, but it is true. The air changes first. It becomes heavy. It presses gently on my face. Then comes the smell. Oh, that smell. Wet earth, wet grass, wet stone. It rises from the ground like a quiet song. I breathe it in slowly. I hold it. I never want to let it go. Then the first drop falls. It taps the window like a small finger. Tap. Then another. Tap. Tap. Then the sky opens. The rain speaks in 100 voices at once. It drums on the roof. It whispers through the leaves. It runs and laughs along the drainpipe. I stand at my window. I do not move. I just listen. I just feel. My skin drinks the cold air. My ears drink the sound. This is my rain painting. It has no colors, but it has everything. I have heard poets talk about beauty. My teacher reads to us sometimes. She reads slowly and clearly. She reads poems about sunsets, about golden fields, about the blue, blue sea. The other children are quiet when she reads. I am quiet too. But I wonder what they see inside their heads. I wonder if their beauty looks like mine. My beauty is not a picture. My beauty is a feeling. It sits deep inside my chest. It is warm. It is round. It opens like a flower when the rain falls, or when my mother hums while she cooks, or when Miso purrs against my leg. These things are beautiful to me, not because I see them, because I feel them in my bones, in my breath, in my soul. I go to a special school. It is for children like me, children who do not see. We are not sad children. People think we are sad. They speak to us slowly. They use soft voices like we are made of glass. But we are not made of glass. We are made of listening. We are made of touching. We are made of knowing the world a different way. Every morning I walk to school. My white cane taps the path. Tap, tap, tap. I know every crack in the pavement. I know the tree with the rough bark on the corner. I know the bakery smell that comes at 7:45. fresh bread and warm sugar. I know the sound of the school gate. It is old and heavy. It makes a long, low groan when it opens. This morning, the rain came while I walked, small drops on my hair, on my hands. The smell of wet earth rose around me. I smiled. I could not help it. I turned my face up to the sky. I felt the drops on my cheeks, like the softest fingertips. My cane touched the gate. I stopped. I listened. Children's voices floated over the wall. Laughter. Someone running. Someone calling a name. The gate groaned slowly as I pushed it open. I stepped inside. My day had begun. Chloe found me on my first day of school. I was standing near the gate. I did not know where to go. My cane touched the wall. My cane touched the air. I was listening hard. There were too many sounds, too many feet, too many voices. I felt small. I felt lost. Then someone stood beside me, tall, warm, steady. "You must be Sarah," she said. "I am Chloe. Come with me." She did not grab my hand roughly. She did not push me. She simply offered her shoulder. I placed my hand on it and we walked. That was 3 years ago. We had walked together every day since. Chloe was tall and kind. Those are the first 2 things I knew about her. But I learned many more things. I learned them slowly, the way you learn a song, note by note. I learned the sound of her bracelet. She wore a silver charm bracelet on her left wrist. Every charm was different. A tiny star, a small heart, a little bird, she told me once. When she moved, they clinked together. Clink, clink, clink. Soft and bright, like the sound of happiness. I could always hear Chloe coming, long before she reached me. The clink of her bracelet was her voice before her voice arrived. I learned her humming. She hummed without knowing it, while she read, while she ate her lunch, while she thought about something difficult. It was not a real song. It was just sound she made when she was comfortable, when she was safe. I loved that hum. It meant everything was all right. I learned her pen. In class, she tapped it when she was bored. Tap, tap, pause. Tap, tap, pause. The teacher would say, "Chloe, please," and she would stop for about 1 minute. Then, quietly, the tapping would start again. I always smiled when I heard it. We sang together, songs from the radio, songs we only half knew. We sang the words we knew loudly. We made up the rest. We laughed when we got them wrong. We walked home like that, her shoulder warm under my hand, her bracelet clinking, our voices mixing with the sound of the street. I think that is the happiest I have ever been. One night, the rain came hard. It hit the roof like 1,000 small stones. It roared in the drain pipe. It filled the whole house with its sound. I sat by my window. I pressed my fingertips to the cold glass. I felt the vibrations of the storm. My mother came and sat beside me. I could feel her warmth. I could smell her lavender soap. "Mama," I said. "Yes, my love?" I was quiet for a moment. The rain was very loud. "Will I ever see the rain?" I asked. She did not answer immediately. The storm filled her silence. It filled every corner of the room. Then I felt it, not a sound, a feeling, a tiny shake in her breathing, a warmth that fell on the back of my hand, a tear, my mother's tear, on my hand. She pulled me close. She held me very tightly. She did not say yes. She did not say no. She just held me, and I understood. I understood that some silences are answers. The next morning, the rain had stopped. The school felt different when I entered. The air was heavy, not heavy like rain, heavy like something missing. I stopped just inside the gate. I listened. Children were there. A teacher was speaking somewhere. But there was no clinking, no humming, no tapping pen. I found my classroom. I sat down. I waited. I kept waiting for the familiar sound, the bracelet, the hum, the tap-tap pause. Nothing. Our teacher spoke very quietly. She said there had been an accident. She said Chloe had been hurt. She did not say more. I sat very still. I held the edge of my desk. The wood was cold. That evening, my mother held both my hands in hers. She spoke slowly. Chloe is in heaven now, my love. I did not cry right away. I sat very still, like the morning before the birds sing, like the moment before the first raindrop falls. In my pocket, I had a ribbon, a yellow one. I had asked my mother to buy it. I wanted to give it to Chloe. She had told me yellow was the color of sunshine. I had wanted to give her something warm. I held the ribbon. I pressed it between my fingers. It was soft. It was smooth. It meant nothing now, and everything. I held it all night. I did not sleep. I just lay there, in the dark that was always my dark. But this dark had no sound at all. Weeks passed, then more weeks. The school gate still groaned the same way. The pavement cracks were still in the same places. The bakery still smelled of warm bread at 7:45. The world did not change. The world kept moving. It did not stop for my sadness. It did not stop for the empty space beside me. Every morning, I stopped at the gate. I listened. I don't know why. Some part of me still waited, still hoped, for the clink of a bracelet, for a warm hum floating over the school wall, for the sound of happiness coming toward me. It never came. I walked through the gate alone. My cane tapped the path. Tap, tap, tap. Just my cane, just my steps, just the silence that Chloe had left behind. I carried it with me like a stone in my chest, heavy but familiar, mine. I was learning something difficult. I was learning to be brave in the silence. It did not come quickly. Bravery never comes quickly. It comes in small pieces, like the rain. First one tap, then another, then slowly, slowly it begins. I started to notice things again. The rough bark of the corner tree, the way the morning air smelled different on cold days, sharp and clean, like something washed. I started to feel the vibrations of the floor again, the footsteps, the small secret stories in the wood. I pressed my fingers to walls, to benches, to the old stone steps of the school. I let the world speak to me again. It was not the same. It would never be the same. But it was something, a small light, very far away, but there. Then, one morning, I heard something near the school door. A small sound, soft and frightened, like an animal lost in the rain. I stopped walking. I tilted my head. I listened carefully. It came again, a child crying, very quietly, trying not to be heard. Our teacher's voice came next, gentle and low. "Come, little one, it is all right. Let me introduce you to someone." Footsteps, small footsteps, very light on the floor, and then they stopped in front of me. "Sarah," my teacher said, "this is Sophie. She is 6 years old. She is new. She cannot see. She is a little frightened today." I crouched down. I put my hands out slowly. Small fingers found mine. They were cold. They were shaking. "Hello, Sophie," I said. She did not answer. She just held my hands, very tight. I stood up slowly. I turned a little. I offered my shoulder, the way Chloe had offered hers to me 3 years ago, near this same gate, on a morning just like this one. But nothing happened. Sophie did not take my shoulder. I waited. I thought. Then I understood. I reached out my hand and touched her gently. The top of her head was level with my chest. She was very small. My shoulder was too high. She could not reach it. Not the way I had reached Chloe's. So I did the only thing that made sense. I knelt down. The floor was cold through my skirt. My cane rested against my arm. I knelt down until I felt it, until our shoulders were the same height, level, equal, together. "Try now," I said softly. A tiny hand reached out. It touched my shoulder. It held on. "Is that better?" I asked. "Yes," she whispered. Her voice was very small, like the first tap of rain on a window. We stayed like that for a moment. 2 girls, one small, one less small, both knowing the same dark, both learning the same world. Then Sophie said something I did not expect. "Are you my big sister?" I could not speak for a moment. The stone in my chest shifted. Something warm moved in its place. Not loud, not sudden. Soft and slow, like sunrise, like the smell of wet earth before the rain, like the feeling of a yellow ribbon pressed between my fingers. A new light, small but real, steady and warm. "Yes," I said at last, "I am your big sister." She held my shoulder tighter. I rose slowly, and we walked forward together, into the school, into the noise and the warmth, her small hand trusting mine completely. I am not alone. I am a guide now. I am Sarah, and I am a big sister. Thanks for listening to my story. If you liked it, hit that subscribe button, drop a comment, and tell me where you're listening from.